Hello everyone, today I'm going to talk about the Iron Global Collaboration project called My Identity, Your Identity. We chose this project because it helps young students learn about themselves and other children around the world. This activity teaches us that everyone is special and has their own traditions and cultures. In this project, students are sharing things about themselves like their family, favorite foods, holidays, music, clothes, and places they lived. Students also get to learn about other students' traditions and discover how people can be different and alike. We hope future students learn to be kind, respectful, and curious about other cultures. Students will also practice speaking, listening, sharing, and learning about the world. Thank you for listening.
Hi guys, my name is Citlaly and my part is part 2 for instructional material needed. So for our project, My Identity, Your Identity, students will need technology, classroom supplies, and online tools to work with other classrooms. So for technology, we can need computers, tablets, internet, microphones, headset, and speakers, or a projector so they can learn. Any online tools could be some Google Slides, PowerPoints, Google Docs, Zoom, or Google Meet, and also as the iEarn website. Some classroom supplies we might use and the students might need to use is paper, pencil, crayons, color pencils, paper, glue sticks, and some scissors to make their projects if they want to do them instead of doing it online. Some handout work will be identity worksheets so they will know, culture research sheets, presentation checklist so they can know and be organized to check everything out, and reflection questions just so they can know after the project or after everything they know and reflect what happened or what they think they should be doing better. For the communication would be emails, also do Google Drive, another Zoom, Google Meet, or share calendars. So do plan a meet and greet on one-on-one. Internet safety students may need to know is use school accounts, keep personal information private, and work with teachers and supervisors. These materials will help students learn about different cultures and share their ideas and work safely with other students in other countries.
Hi everyone, I'm going to explain how the My Identity, Your Identity project meets the ISTE Global Collaborator Standards 1.7a and 1.7b for students kindergarten through second grade. First, let's look at ISTE Standard 1.7a. In the My Identity, Your Identity project, young students use technology to create digital representation of who they are. They can include simple information such as their family, their name, favorite activities, traditions, foods, pets, or holidays they celebrate. With support from their teachers, students can use tools like Canva, Google Slides, Seesaw, or Google Drive to add pictures, drawings, voice recordings, and short sentences. These digital creations help students collect and organize information about themselves. When they share their projects with another classroom, they begin making meaningful connections by comparing their own lives with lives of children from another community or country. This supports ISTE Standard 1.7a because students are using digital tools to create and share artifacts that represent their identities. Now, let's look at ISTE Standard 1.7b. This project also gives students opportunities to communicate and collaborate with children from their different backgrounds using age-appropriate technology such as Zoom, Google Meet, Flip, or other teacher-managed email. Students can introduce themselves, ask simple questions, and learn about another classroom's culture, traditions, language, and daily routines. For kindergarten through second grade, these conversations help them understand that people around the world may have different customs while also discovering many things they have in common. They practice respectful communication, listening, and curiosity while using technology in a safe and meaningful way. Overall, the My Identity, Your Identity project allows K through second grade students to use technology to share their own identities, learn from others, and build positive relationships with students from different cultures. This makes it a strong example of how ISTE Global Collaborator Standards 1.7a and 1.7b can be successfully integrated into an elementary classroom.
Hello
I am Megan, and I am here to talk about standards 7C, 7D, and the additional standard. Okay, 7C. With guidance from an educator, students take on different team roles and use age-appropriate technologies to complete projects. This standard relates to the project because it allows students to work together to create a poster or a concept map of a culture. Students would be able to research different information on cultures and then come together to present their findings on the culture that they were researching and its traditions. Okay, students would take on different roles like writer, an editor, illustrator, etc. to create their final poster or concept map. Students could use resources like Google Meets, Zoom, all of course with the teacher knowing and being there to make sure everything is appropriate, as you might know. And then they could also find more information through other trustworthy websites that you could set aside and show them to look through. Okay, 7D. With guidance from an educator, students use age-appropriate technologies to work together to understand problems and suggest solutions. This standard relates to the project because it allows students to look at different pictures and videos of cultures and see what is traditional and modernized. Students can then come up with solutions on how we can keep cultural traditions alive instead of modernizing all of the traditions and losing the cultural identity. So students could Zoom with a person from that culture and learn a lot of different information. This is all, again, with the teacher being present and around, so then they can make sure everything is appropriate. But they could learn more information from the actual source itself. And then students could also use AI or Google to gather more information, such as like the pictures and videos, and then they could compare and contrast the two and see what is more modernized and what is more traditional, and gather more information that way. And then they could use the Google to then see what is traditional genuinely and then what is more modernized now. Okay. And then the additional standard we chose was Standard 6, Creative Communicator. Students communicate clearly and express themselves creatively for a variety of purposes using platforms, tools, styles, formats, and digital media appropriate for their goals. Okay, so this project would also hit pieces of Standard 6 because when they are creating their poster or concept map, they could use or incorporate a more digital aspect like a collage of images or artwork. So the artwork that they could use into it would be like through the computer or tablets that they're given. They could maybe draw a picture from what they gathered the culture seems like or what like different pieces they have. So they could do that, or they could take images from online and make a collage to show what the culture looks like and what is more authentic. Okay, the images they choose or the artwork they make would be related to the culture and the traditions they chose to learn about. This would allow students to communicate the information in other ways than just saying it or writing it or reading it. And this would allow students to create things using different tools to communicate information to others. So this allows other people to also gather the information in another way other than just hearing it or seeing it. So